Hi, I'm Dave Fries. I'm here at the Fairfax Video Studio with Jim Folliard. And Jim just was listening to another video that I did. Well, actually, he was helping me to shoot it, to be fair. It's called the 6-Word Question. I invite you to go and check it out because it's language that can transform how you interact, not just with your family, but also with friends and in business, where it can make a big difference in how persuasive and influential you are. And Jim, that was the ultimate compliment. As soon as we were done, he said, I'm going to take that and use that with my own kids. So thanks. Today, though, we're going to talk a little bit about something else called an embedded suggestion or command. What is it? How do you use it? How to use it ethically and appropriately to become more persuasive, to become more influential, and to get more of the results that you want? Well, an embedded command or suggestion works like this. Let me tell you a story to illustrate it. I'm a trusted estates lawyer by training, so often when we're getting done, I'll notice people packing up their briefcases. This is the international symbol for we're done here, we're going to leave soon, we'll shake your hand, and you should stop billing us. I'm only joking about that a little bit because I bill on flat fees so they could stay for as long as they want. But here's the thing. Once somebody has decided to leave, that's just one big behavior. They're going to pack up and go. When you interrupt that one big behavior, when you change what they're expecting, you have a unique opportunity to communicate with them in a different way. So when I notice people packing up, I say, excuse me, before you go, I'm thinking I have a question for you. Now, if you say, I have a question for you, what do they immediately begin to wonder? What's the question? So again, you're taking advantage of something called the Zeigarnik effect. You've created curiosity. They're much more likely to listen to you and to pay close attention to what you have to say. So what is the question that I ask? Well, I say, is there any other question you need to ask me now in order to feel completely sure and certain that we accomplished everything that you wanted to today? Now let me break that down for you because I just did all these things, but I'm going to do them in slow motion for you. Is there any other question? So I'm embedding in my question that I want how many. 1. I don't want them to now have slews of questions. They want to get ready, pack up, and go home. So I say, is there any other question? I use the singular. I give them a gesture, which is not very noticeable. You didn't notice it the first time. Is there any other question? So I've pre-programmed through an embedded suggestion that they should be thinking of 1. Is there any other question you need to? So is there any other question you need to ask me now? Is there any other question you need to ask me now? That's what I did in the first one. I tilt my head a little bit, I change my tone of voice a little bit, and I bracket the words, ask me now. So how many questions do I want? 1. That they need to, that's creating a little compulsion. Ask me when, ask me now. Is there any other question you need to ask me now in order to feel completely sure and certain that we accomplished everything you wanted to today? If you're a professional working with a client, or a spouse working with a spouse, or a parent working with a child, or a friend talking to a friend, when you leave, you want them to feel that way, that they accomplished what they wanted to that day. So there's lots of ways that you can ask this question. The magic is not in the particular thing you're asking them about, but in the way that you ask it. Is there any other question? We're telling me what 1. They need to, compelling a little bit, ask me now in order to feel this certain way, whatever it is that you want them to feel. They will do a transderivational search, and there's only 2 answers you ever get to that question. Is there any other question you need to ask me now in order to feel completely sure and certain that we accomplished everything that you wanted to, or completely sure and certain that you feel like you're able to do it, or completely sure and certain that you can get this thing done? Lots of variations on it. But here's what they'll do. They'll go, because they're looking through the questions that they might ask you, which if they do ask them will make them feel that way. So they might go, no. Well, that's good. That means they already feel that. You've achieved one of the things that you've wanted to. The other possibility, though, is they go like this. Yes, there is another question. My son John, who I named as executor under the will, he's in prison. Is that okay? So in other words, they'll oftentimes tell you things or reveal things that were very important, but they didn't before, but which are bothering them. And they know deep down at an unconscious level that they have to ask that question in order to feel completely sure and comfortable that they're going to be able to get everything done that they wanted to, or that they accomplished everything that they wanted to. So let me go over that question again. Is there any other question you need to ask me now in order to feel completely sure and certain that, insert what you want them to feel? It's a very interesting way of using human biology Is it ethical? Is it appropriate? Well, here's the thing. All human communication is manipulative. Whether you're trying to entertain somebody or educate them or equip them for some task they have to do or to make them feel less anxious or make them feel less fear, you're trying to get them to do something that you think is good for them. So let's start from that point that all human communication is manipulative to some extent or another. So what matters? What makes the difference? It's the intent. So when you're pretty sure and certain that you've done your job and that you really understand what the other person wants, you don't want them to leave your office or your home or this conversation feeling uncertain, feeling fear, feeling anxiety. So these types of questions using embedded commands and suggestions are questions that we could use to make sure that people feel what they want to feel, what they need to feel before they leave you, and know with certainty that they could get done what they want done. I hope you enjoy using this. Use it appropriately and ethically. It's been my pleasure, and I look forward to sharing more techniques with you soon. Thank you.